Picture this. You've spent years pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into building your business. You finally get the traction you need to scale, and you are right on the verge of securing a massive financial lifeline, a $150,000 SBA loan. But then, right at the finish line, the bank pulls the plug. And it's not because your credit is bad. It's not because your business model has flaws. Nope, it's because of a single, tiny administrative oversight. So what could possibly cost a business $150 grand?
Well, this isn't just some hypothetical scare tactic. This actually happened to Sarah. She's a digital marketing consultant out of Newark, and she literally lost a huge $150,000 loan opportunity because her LLC was, well, temporarily not in good standing. And the culprit? One missed annual report. That's it. Fixing it caused a 3-week delay, and that didn't just cost her the loan, it cost her a major client contract too. It's a harsh reminder, right? Staying on top of your state compliance is absolutely critical. It's basically the bedrock of your business's legitimacy.
So, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're looking at exactly how to get a certificate of good standing in the state of New Jersey. We're going to unpack what this document actually is, why you absolutely need it, and how to get your hands on it without a massive headache. Even if you're a complete beginner when it comes to business compliance, don't sweat it. We're going to break it all down step by step so you can make sure your business's foundation is rock solid.
All right, here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the business report card. Then, checking your eligibility. After that, we'll cover applying and the associated costs, followed by troubleshooting and FAQs. Then we'll get into maintaining good standing, and finally, we'll wrap up with our conclusion and a quick disclaimer. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the business report card, understanding the basics.
You can really think of this certificate as a state-issued grade. It proves you've been playing by the rules. Now, in New Jersey, the official name for this, which is issued by the Department of the Treasury Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services, or DORS for short, is a standing certificate. Some other states might call it a certificate of existence, but New Jersey rolls it all into this one standing certificate. And it proves 3 absolutely critical facts. First, your company legally exists and is authorized to operate in New Jersey. Second, you've filed all your required annual reports. And third, you have paid all state fees, taxes, and penalties. You're fully squared away.
So when are you actually going to be forced to show this report card? Well, the most common scenario is business financing. Get this, about 92% of business loan applications require this exact certificate. But it's also totally non-negotiable for something called foreign qualification. That's just a legal term for expanding your New Jersey business to operate in other states. You're also going to need it for major moves, like mergers and acquisitions, landing government contracts, and even locking down certain commercial leases or business insurance policies.
Moving right along to Section 2, checking your eligibility. Are you actually compliant?
Now, before you even try to order this certificate, you've got to know the strict prerequisites that separate a compliant business from a non-compliant one. To get the green light, your business must have all its annual reports filed by your anniversary month, all state fees paid up, and, this is a big one, an active registered agent with a valid New Jersey street address. On the flip side, a non-compliant business, one that's going to get rejected, might have missed those report deadlines, maybe they have unpaid minimum franchise taxes, or they're using an outdated registered agent address like a P.O. box. The state strictly does not allow P.O. boxes for this. Oh, and if you have any pending administrative actions against your business, yeah, you won't qualify either.
All right, let's get into Section 3, applying and associated costs, the step-by-step process.
So how do you actually get this document into your hands? Thankfully, New Jersey has modernized the whole thing. Step 1, just hop online and access the official New Jersey Business Record Service portal. Step 2, search for your business. Now, you can search by name, but a real pro tip from our sources is to search using your exact 10-digit New Jersey entity ID. It completely prevents any mix-ups with similarly named businesses. Step 3, select your certificate type, either short form or long form. And Step 4, purchase and download. It literally arrives right then as a PDF, complete with an official state seal and a verification code to prove it's authentic.
Let's talk numbers really quick. The exact state fees depend on your entity type and which form length you choose. If you're a corporation or a limited partnership, it is super straightforward, $25 for either a short form or a long form. But if you're an LLC, a short form which gives you basic verification is $50. Need a long form with your complete filing history or a list of current officers and members? That's going to cost you $100. Just keep in mind there's usually a tiny credit card processing fee of around $2 for these online transactions.
Now, what if you're in a massive rush? New Jersey actually offers a really unique feature, 8.5 business hours. For an extra $15 to $25, you can get expedited processing that quickly. But there is a catch here. You can't get this speed for standard online orders. It's only an option if you submit your request via fax, courier service, or in person over-the-counter in Trenton. That said, standard online orders are usually updated by 10 a.m. the very next business day, anyway, which is pretty fast.
Next up is Section 4, Troubleshooting and FAQs. Let's look at overcoming some common obstacles.
Okay, because things don't always go according to plan, we have to talk about a pretty terrifying scenario for any business owner. What happens if your business gets revoked? Look, if you neglect to file your annual reports for 2 consecutive years, New Jersey can and will administratively void your charter or revoke your authority to do business. Same thing happens if you fail to file corporation business taxes, and once you're revoked, it's bad news. You lose your liability protections, you could lose contracts, your bank accounts can literally be frozen, and you absolutely cannot get a standing certificate.
If you do find yourself in that revoked status, you have to go through a formal reinstatement process, and I'll be honest, it is financially painful. First, you have to file all those past due annual reports, which are $75 for every single year you missed. Then you've got to pay a reinstatement fee. That's $95 for corporations or $75 for LLCs. And on top of all that, you have to get a tax clearance certificate from the Division of Taxation for another $20. You are basically paying heavily in both time and money just to revive your business. This is exactly why prevention is absolutely critical.
Another question that pops up all the time: how long is a standing certificate actually valid once you get it? Well, technically, the state of New Jersey doesn't put an expiration date on the certificate itself, but its validity is entirely dependent on whoever is asking you for it. Banks and lenders, they usually want that certificate to be under 30 days old. State agencies might accept one that's 60 to 90 days old, and if you're expanding to another state, they usually want it within a 30 to 60-day window. So the best practice? Always request your certificate as close to your submission deadline as humanly possible. Let's move to Section 5, Maintaining Good Standing. Proactive Compliance. We really want to shift our mindset from just getting this certificate one time to making sure you never fall out of compliance again. So here is a super actionable, proactive compliance checklist for you. Number 1, file your annual report by your anniversary month every single year. You can actually file up to 30 days early, but remember, there are no extensions. Number 2, pay any minimum franchise taxes required. Yes, even if you have zero New Jersey income that year. Number 3, make sure your registered agent maintains a valid New Jersey street address. Remember, no P.O. box is allowed. And finally, number 4, actively monitor state correspondence. Provide a valid business email address so you don't miss any official state notices. Honestly, just setting up calendar reminders or using compliance software can automate this whole thing for you.
To help you plan your budget, here's a look at the recurring annual report fees required by the state. For-profit entities, so that's your corporations, LLCs, and LPs, pay $75 every year. Nonprofit corporations pay $30 annually. Now, missing these deadlines doesn't usually trigger an immediate late fee for most businesses, but as we saw earlier, it starts a chain reaction that can lead to a revoked business status and some pretty massive reinstatement fees down the road.
And that brings us to Section 6, Conclusion and Disclaimer. Wrapping up.
Before we officially wrap this up, please keep in mind that this explainer is strictly for informational purposes. It is not formal legal or financial advice. Business compliance can get super complex, and it's highly specific to your unique situation, so we always encourage you to sit down with a qualified legal or financial professional.
I really want to leave you with this one thought. Don't let missed deadlines or unpaid fees jeopardize your business's reputation and growth. A standing certificate is so much more than just a piece of paper. It really is the key that unlocks bank loans, out-of-state expansion, and those major contracts you want. It proves to the world that you are a legitimate, reliable operator. Which leads me to our final question for you today. Do you actually know your New Jersey business entity status right now? If you aren't 100% sure, it might be time to log on to that DORIS portal and check for yourself. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and hey, here's to keeping your business moving forward compliantly and successfully.